Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Can everybody online hear me? If you can, would you please put a one in the chat room? Hopefully, the audio and everything is working. All right. Thank you so much. Somebody put up a one, so everything is working. All right. So I have 7 o'clock my time here in Louisiana. First of all, I just want to say thank you for joining in for another YouTube live on my channel, Elderly Advice 100. There's so many other things that you could be doing this evening, but you took time out of your busy schedule to tune in, and for that I say thank you. Thank you for everyone who tuned in Monday night, and again we do this every Monday and Thursday, 7 o'clock once again Central Standard Time, and we're going to continue the same thing as Monday. We're going to have a topic, and the topic is kind of going to conclude on one of the callers that I had call in on Monday, because I had a couple of people email me and ask me to talk about uh, what to do when your ex boyfriend attempts to come back. So that's going to be the main topic of tonight. If you look at the bottom of your screen, the phone number is listed below. Phone number is 225-397 6922 for anyone who would like to call in, and you may have a question that you want to discuss. But again, the topic tonight is going to be about what to do when your ex-boyfriend comes back, and we'll talk about that. So just give me a second. Let's see. We got 5 people in the building. I don't see any comments yet. Any comments? So, when your ex-boyfriend comes back, what should you do? First of all, I would say take assessment and ask yourself, why is he your ex in the first place? Uh, when we say ex, that means somebody who, we saw previously, and something must have gone wrong to cause that person or cause the relationship to end. So, first of all, like I said, I think we have to ask ourselves, why is that person our ex to begin with? Did that person cross a line? Did that person do something that was a deal breaker? Maybe the distance was too long. Maybe you were doing a long distance relationship. Maybe there were some things that you found out about him that you did not like. Maybe he lied to you. I don't know. But I think when you take inventory about why is someone your ex to begin with, I think that that plays a very, very important factor in considering, why should you take that person back? So, like I always tell ladies, when you're dealing with a relationship, sometimes the relationship goes bad and your ex decides to come back. The first thing you have to do is you got to be strong. If in your heart and in your mind you say that this relationship is 100% over, there's absolutely nothing he can do to come back. But a lot of times, see, guys, your ex will try and come back just to see if there's a little small crack left in that door. And sometimes your ex wants to see if there's a little small crack that's left in the door. In other words, you still may have a slight bit of feelings left for him. And sometimes he'll try and come back and see if you have the slightest inkling of feelings left for him. And sometimes if you do, sometimes guys will try and exploit that and see if they can come back. Now, on the other hand, there are some guys who are legitimately remorseful about what happened to cause the breakup. A lot of times as guys, we'll screw up. How do we screw up? Adultery, cheating, going to strip clubs, hanging out with our boys, neglecting our friend's feeling, neglecting her needs, leaving her at home sometimes. Like I said, you're out hanging out with your friends, you're out with the crowd. You think, well, I got a good girlfriend. She'll be at home waiting on me. And sometimes, guys can get in that atmosphere or in that world and just think that the lady will always be there, no matter how much you hang out with your friends, no matter how many times you cheat, no matter how many times you get caught for doing something you had absolutely no business doing. All right, so Lachelle says, "Do you advise going back to an ex?" That's what I was talking about earlier, Lachelle. Again, I think it's very important for, once again, the lady, the female, to ask yourself, why is he my ex to begin with? Because I'm pretty sure you ladies have what's called deal breakers, as far as things you may put up with that you may give a guy maybe a second, maybe in some instances a third chance. Or you may just have that strict deal breaker where if you cross this line one time, as far as, for example, cheating, some ladies, that may just be just a deal breaker off the bat. If you lie to me and I find out you're cheating, you're seeing somebody else, that's it. Nothing else you can do for me, or this relationship is over. So again, I think, Lachelle, you have to ask yourself, first of all, once again, why is he my ex to begin with? And then once you make assessments about that, let's say it was a slight offense. Let's say it was a misunderstanding. And the misunderstanding, it may have been a big misunderstanding then, but then after time passed, you may look at it and say, you know what? It was a misunderstanding, but it wasn't as big as I initially thought it was. I may give him a second opportunity or whatnot. But what I want to talk about later on, and once again, please feel free to call in. I want to talk about the mental strength that it takes, especially when you were in a relationship as a lady, you were in a relationship with a man, and you had deep feelings for him. I mean, I think we all can attest that there are certain people that we meet, and we may start a relationship with that person. Sometimes our feelings may get deeper for one person compared to another. So, the person who we may have had a relationship where those feelings really were not deep. I think it's easy for us to say, just cut ties with that person. But sometimes it's a person, you may have gone to high school with him or her, you may have gone to college, or, sometimes it's that one person. And sometimes those feelings can develop for that one person, and it's almost like whatever you try and do, it seems like, you think you may have that person out of your system. You may find yourself thinking about them every now and then, or you don't really have that person out of your system, even though you may be dating or seeing somebody else. So again, phone lines are open. Somebody said no and no. Was it a marriage, children? So again, phone lines are open. I think I'm going to limit tonight to about an hour. I have a couple of things that I need to take care of. So again, if anybody wants to call in, phone line is open, 225-397-6922. Let's see, we got 11 people in. Once again, thank you for taking time out of your schedule to join in. So, ex-relationships, ex-boyfriends. Should you let him back in your life? And if so, what would be the circumstances? Or if not, what would be the things that you consider are a deal breaker as far as some of the offenses that he may have committed, that you just say, nope, Never, 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 never. All right. Somebody said, Nable's husband says, my husband of 12 years kept cheating. Wow. Let me put that in the chat. Kept cheating and coming in and out. I left with no contact. Filed for divorce. He won't sign the papers and won't stop calling. Why? It's a good question. You know, there are some men out there, once again, that are in relationships or have had relationships with ladies, marriage, you know, long-term relationships. Sometimes it doesn't work out as planned. And there's some men out there that just cannot stand the fact that you don't want them anymore and that you're seeing another person, seeing another guy. So I don't know what that, you know, I don't know if that's the exact situation, but it's something about men. And again, this is not all men, but some men. I've done this myself, and I'm not going to sit up here and pretend like I'm a hypocrite because I'm definitely guilty of this myself. But relationships over, as the man, you know if you messed up, you know you did things that you should not have done, and the lady calls it off. She wants out, and you try harder to get her back, even though she's totally correct to end the relationship, because once again the things that we do a lot of times as men, and probably number one would be what? The infidelity, the cheating. Now, this is just me. I cannot speak for any other man. I you know, I related to, as I stated earlier, that dominant instinct that all men possess, as far as, you know, when we even think about the possibility of our ex-girlfriend being with another man. We think about the sexual acts that we used to do together. And then we think about those same sexual acts that you could be doing with another man. You know, a lot of times, you know, a lot of men cannot handle that. A lot of men will be like, nope, I'm going to get her back. Why? Because I just cannot stand the fact that she's moved on. Not only she's moved on, but the same good loving that I was getting from her, or that we were having together, another man is getting that same good loving now. Nope, can't have it. And then again, there are some men that have totally, I wouldn't say totally changed, but they totally realize the damage and the hurt that they've caused in a lot of instances, and they really, really, really want to try and patch things up to work things out. Because ladies, you would be surprised as men. Sometimes it takes us bumping our heads. Sometimes it takes us losing the best lady we ever had in our life to get our mind together. And I know you probably saying that's just a lame excuse. I've heard that too many times. But like I said, I cannot speak for all men, but you would be surprised how many men, once they realize that the best woman that they ever had in their life, or one of the best relationships that they ever had in their life, is gone, and she doesn't want anything else to do with him anymore. Some men will just wake up and say, I got to do better. I got to do better, because I'm never going to meet another woman like her in my life again. And then some men will just make that all-out pursuit to try and get you back. But, you know, maybe some women, you may be like, well, that's too late. He should have realized that when he had me. So it's a catch-22. It really is. It really is. Somebody said, my mom said, stop going back to throw up. I definitely relate to that. All right. So phone line is open once again. Anybody wants to call in? 225-397-6922. Once again, 225-397-6922. Like I said, I probably end this at about the 1 hour mark. All right, someone commented and said, I totally understand after being divorced for 7 years now, no dating and lots of healing. I have decided no more struggle love. I am going to expand my options. That's a great point of view. I totally respect that. Why? It's because life is too short. I mean, it really is to go through life, ups and downs, relationships. Adults acting like children, people masquerading. People don't want to be honest with one another. You got so many people who on the outside seem like they have everything together, and then on the inside you find out that they're a total wreck. So I do not blame you one bit for talking about no more struggle love, because love can be a very, very complicated situation, and you have to be very careful about the people who you allow in your life, because this heart sometimes can fall for the wrong people. And when that happens, again, it could be a long, long ride. All right, somebody said, how do you vet an ex that wants to come back, come bad though? Well, again, this is just me, okay? This is only me. Uh, I could be wrong, but I don't see how you can vet an ex. That's just me. I'm not saying it's not possible, but you have to realize when you're dealing with your ex, especially if it's an ex boyfriend that you had or may still have deep feelings for. See, he knows you. He knows he knows pretty much everything about you. He knows your spots. He knows the type of conversation you like. He knows the intimate things about you. He knows what your favorite color is. He knows what your favorite type of music is. He knows what your favorite type of food is. And so when you're dealing with people that you just had that deep connection with, that man, he knows everything. He knows your weak spots. He knows certain parts on your body that are weak or whatnot. So when you talk about trying to vet ex-boyfriend, I'm not saying it can't be done, but I'll be the first to admit you have to have a very, very, very strategic plan in place. I could give you some advice from a male perspective, but from A to Z, the way I can lay it out for a man that you just met, that's totally different. Because again, see, your ex has so much information. He's got all the information. He knows pretty much everything about you. And so a lot of men can use those things and try and ease back in that door. So that's why you have to ask yourself, once again, as I stated earlier, ask yourself, well, why is he my ex to begin with? For example, if you have one of your main pet peeves is, or one of your primary deal breaker is, if he cheats on me, that's it. Game over. We're getting divorced, or the relationship is over, the engagement is off, or whatever. Let's say that's what he did. So if he cheated on you to become your ex, see, that ought to be the first thing that crosses your mind. Okay, why is he my ex? Because he cheated. He violated one of my deal breakers. So if he's your ex because he cheated, he's trying to come back, there's a good chance, guess what? What he did the first time is going to happen again. So again, you got to ask yourself, what was the deal breaker? Was it an argument that at the time seemed major, but now that you had some time to think about it, now maybe you may look back and say, you know what, that argument wasn't, as big as I thought it was. We argued about, where are we going for vacation, and it just got out of hand or something like that. Yeah, somebody said exes are exes for a reason. Yeah. So somebody said great the great one, Blake's. All right. Somebody said don't lower your standards. Excellent. I agree with that 100%. All right. So again, I got 7:21 my time. As I stated, I probably would do an hour, but if nobody calls in, I probably would just limit this to about 30 minutes, which would give us about 10 more minutes. Let's see. We got 17 in the chat. Yeah, somebody, great comment. Sade said, don't lower your standards. And then someone else commented, he's an ex for a reason. So, strength. What do you do when your strength is maybe not up to par? In other words, it could be a relationship where the breakup was kind of fresh. Let's say it's only been a month. And a month is no time, especially when you dealt with someone who you were pretty much head over heels for. You know, where you that relationship, that bond was so strong, and then for some reason there was a breakup. And I'm glad I touched on that, because a lot of times some of the ladies who I've been corresponding with through emails or whatnot. One of the things that I've recommended to them was allow yourself adequate time to heal. Now, who am I or anyone to say how long that healing process should take place? Who knows? But the healing process, very, 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 very important. One of the best women that I ever had in my life died of breast cancer when I was living in Phoenix, Arizona. And so I had to take a lot of time off for myself to heal. And there were a lot of opportunities that I had to date after she died, but I understood that if I would have got into those relationships, I would not have been able to put 100% into it, because I was still in a mourning process. So the healing process, you know, for some people it takes whatever amount of time. I think we can all, hold on one second, we got a call coming in. Hello, caller.
Hi, this is LVNCSR. How are you?
I'm good. You said Evelyn, correct?
I'm sorry?
You said your name is Evelyn, correct?
No. The initial LVNCSR.
Oh, that's you in the chat. Well, good evening. How are you
Yeah,
doing?
I'm good. How are you? I'm so glad to find you.
Thank you.
My question is a little off topic, and I'm not going to bore you with like a whole history, but I've been studying and doing some research on interracial relationships. And I've made the decision, and I really hope you'll address this at some point. I've made the decision after being married for 26 years to a malignant narcissist. I can't do black men anymore. I just can't. And I was hoping that you would address that, because I'm watching other interracial relationships, and my sister, in fact, is married to a white man.
Wow.
And the love and the respect that he gives her, I've never seen it in my life. And I certainly have never experienced it. And so I was hoping you would address the subject, because I'm definitely opening my options.
Hey, yeah, let's talk about it. If you don't mind, what city and state are you calling from?
I'm calling from Texas.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You want to mention the city, or you prefer not to?
Oh, sure. Dallas.
Oh, okay. Oh, you in Big D.
Big D.
I got you. Well, listen.
Native.
Listen. As we talked about earlier, see, life is too short to go through unhappy. I was okay. Let's talk about Dallas for a minute because there Dallas is one of the fastest growing cities. The Dallas Fort Worth area. You know, when you talk about Arlington and Fort
Mhm.
Worth and Frisco and
Mhm.
all those, it seems like Dallas would be an ideal place to meet eligible black men. If that's what you were referring to, you said you don't want to date men anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was referring to. And you're right. You would think that people assume that
Hmm.
because the influx of people that are moving here, but
Yes,
that is not the case.
really.
I can't deal with grown boys anymore. I just can't do it.
I got you. I got
And
you.
it's so much to the point that I'm very, very close to moving abroad.
Wow.
Yeah,
You
mhm,
mean outside the United States?
outside the United States. In
Wow.
fact, I'm going through the process of doing the paperwork to get the visas and all of that.
Wow.
Excuse me. Yeah.
Wow. Well,
And you're not such an old man.
so 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 so
I
so
got
so
you by
so,
a
so
couple of
okay.
years.
So how would you describe 54? That's not a spring chicken. Oh.
He's not a spring chicken, but you're not old.
Yeah,
You're old enough to know better.
that's true. No doubt about that.
Exactly.
All right. So you're thinking about leaving the country. And once again, I totally respect that, but I just want you to make sure that this is something that you know. I want you to to understand this. Number one, it's a big move, a real big move, and not saying that the guy. Okay, let's make sure we're on the same page. You're saying you're thinking about moving out of the country to be with the guy that you met, and you want to strengthen the bond with him.
No, 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 not at all.
Okay.
No, no. This is just to start a whole new life, a whole new chapter.
Oh, okay. I got you. I got you. I got you. Yeah, I got you. I totally understand that. Yeah, listen, life is too short. I mean, if you feel that you're not getting or meeting the right type of men who will treat you in the way in which you desire, and you know you deserve to be treated, I say go for it. 100%.
Thank you.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm just not the type of woman to chase. I've never had to.
And you know what? I don't see I don't see why more women don't get it. I mean, I see so many women in today's world pursuing and chasing men.
It's
I'm
so
like,
pathetic.
go ahead. I'm sorry.
I said it's so
It
pathetic.
really
Have you ever
is.
watched that? Have you ever watched that? I think the name of it is "Put a Ring on It."
No, no. Tell me about it.
Oh my God! Please watch it. It's just gonna make you sick. These women, the majority of them have been with these guys for
Hmm.
over 3 years,
Hmm.
and they're begging the counselor to help them get them to put a ring on it. I mean,
Mm-mm.
I've just never seen anything so pathetic. Now, it's not a snag on anybody in the chat or anything,
Yeah.
but these girls are in their 30s, and I'm thinking, where were your mothers that they didn't teach you? You don't have to chase a man ever,
Ever,
ever, ever.
ever, not
ever.
even once.
My my
Mm-mm.
entire life, I've always been the one who was chased.
And I think that's something that ladies don't understand. Men
I
love to chase.
They do,
And
they
and
do.
and, and, and I know there are going to be some women that saying were thinking like, well, if men love to chase, why aren't they chasing me? Because you're making it too easy.
And exactly. I mean, my God, paying
Men are
for
not going to
Anthony.
chase you when you're
Oh
making
my
it
God,
so easy. It doesn't make
no,
sense.
no. No, you're paying for all his luxuries, and then he's gonna leave you whenever you go to be your quote unquote boss woman. He's
Exactly.
gonna be laying up for somebody else. It's
That,
so ridiculous.
thank you.
I just never understood it.
That is so true. That is so true. So when are you thinking about leaving?
Probably it just depends upon when all the paperwork is done and established. Probably next year.
Wow. I
And the only reason I'm having to wait is because the countries that I'm looking at require that you can show a certain amount of money consecutively, like in the last 12 months.
mhm.
So when all my investments are consistent for 12 months, I'm out of here.
Wow.
And it's so funny. My son is the one who got me on this idea to do this. I have been divorced for 7 years. I was married for 26 years.
Mhm.
He was a malignant narcissist, which is absolutely insane. But
Wow.
we as women, I was in it,
Mhm.
elderly. So I thought, well, let me just stay and try to make this work. But it just got to a point that I'm like, what am I doing?
Exactly.
What am I doing? This is crazy.
It is.
And so somebody in the chat was saying, should you go back or should you let him come back? And I just want to hug her and say, baby, why? He's
Thank you.
ex for a reason.
Thank you. Exactly.
Because they're
Exactly.
not going to change. They're really not.
You,
Now, when they get in your age group, they start understanding a little, but they still don't change. My husband was 62 years old, but he looked like he was 30. I mean, we were really healthy, energetic, because I kept us that way,
mhm.
because I'm in the medical profession.
Mhm.
And so I kept us healthy and whole and stuff.
Mhm.
And so he just still thought he was God's gift to every woman walking.
Mm. Sounds like my daddy.
Yeah, exactly. No, I was looking at your testimony about your parents.
Yeah.
My father got your father beat.
Does he?
Oh my God. He he had 56 children. Count
Wait,
them,
wait,
five,
wait,
six.
wait, 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 wait,
Yeah, five,
wait,
six.
wait,
Uh huh.
wait a
No,
minute. Hold up.
it's true.
I
It's
know I
true.
did not hear what I thought I heard.
Yes, you did. 56. The only thing I can give him credit for is my siblings and I are the only legitimate children because he and my mother were married. But all the rest, oh my God,
You said 56?
five, six. And so now, most of the, yeah, the youngest was 14, I think,
Mm-hmm.
and the oldest was like 72. The man was busy.
What state did your father, city and state did he grow up in?
Texas,
Texas.
Texas.
My goodness.
Yeah, the man was busy.
He was.
So see, everything that he didn't teach me,
Yeah.
I learned by his absence.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
And it's just, I promised myself and my son. And my son kept saying, well, Mom, why are you staying in Texas? He
Mm-hmm.
said, what's keeping you here? He said, because I'm going to be in Brazil. Because for some reason at birth, I attached some kind of travel thing to his body. I
Yeah.
can't keep him off the plane.
Wow.
And so
Wow.
when we got to talking about it, and I thought, you know what? You're absolutely right. There's nothing to keep me here.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you mind if I take about 3 countries to guess which one you're
Go
thinking
for it.
about going in?
Go for it.
All right. Now, if I had a crystal ball, just describing what you talked about and some places that I've visited where men go crazy over black women, I would say, in my opinion, number 1, Spain. Nope.
Come on. What's number 2?
Number 2 would be France.
Okay. And number 3?
Number 3 would be Germany.
Mm, Germany is a little sketchy.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have
France.
to go. I'm sorry.
France. But my number 1 choice is Mexico.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah. I told you I've been doing my research.
I see that. Yeah. So you found that the men in Mexico treat you better. Tell us about that.
Well, it's not really so much about the men. It's about me. Yeah, they do. They treat you like you are porcelain. But it's not really about that for me. I don't know. I guess I could say I've outgrown Texas and the United States. Well, you know, elderly, you're here. You know
Mhm.
what's going on.
That's true.
But I think I've just outgrown it.
Wow.
And the men here are actually pretty boring because they run the same old stupid games. And when they find out they can't run game on me,
Yeah.
it's like, well, I'm sorry, you mad because I can see through you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah. But again, I just want to ask you one more question about the area that you live in because I'm on the outside looking in. Uh,
okay,
I've only been to that area a few times, but every time I pick up the newspaper or like a Fortune 500 magazine or any type of literature that talks about one of the hottest and best places to live and earn a good living and meet professional people, especially meeting professional people.
right.
That Dallas Fort Worth is always at the top of the list. Anytime you got people leaving Chicago and Atlanta, and you got people leaving Pittsburgh and Philadelphia and New York, leaving those type of major cities to come to Dallas. Oh man! And
Well,
so
let me tell you why. Let
go
me
ahead,
tell you why they're at the top of those magazines.
go ahead.
Number one, demographics, because the cost of living, as outrageous as it is, it's still cheaper than those cities you mentioned.
That's a good point.
And they
Yeah,
and they also put Dallas at the top of the list for jobs.
yeah,
But if you dig a little deeper, they're not going to say anything. And for dating and meeting people, they're not going to say that.
I got you. I got you.
I'm not going to say that.
You know what? I'm glad you brought that up because I totally overlooked those things.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
hmm
yeah,
And see, think about it. You want to. That's why you want to draw people here for the infrastructure and the restaurant because it does what? It creates business
yes,
revenue.
yes,
Then it's
yes,
about whether or not you can meet anybody who's mature and that's going to play games and be grown up. They're not interested in that. They're interested in money.
I know that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Wow, Mexico. Well,
Mexico.
yeah, yeah. Well, I wish you good luck because again, everybody deserves happiness, and
Absolutely.
if you're not in a place in life where you don't feel happy, and you feel that another, change of venue will make you feel happier. I say go for it altogether.
Yeah, and again, it's not because I want to find them. It's none of that. I'm so fulfilled in me. I think I'm just so over it all. Have
Yeah,
you ever gotten to that point? I'm just over all this.
yeah. I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah,
I know.
I kind of thought you did.
Yeah, yeah. You ever thought about writing a book?
Oh God, you have no idea how many people have asked me that.
Mm-hmm.
It may be a possibility. It may be.
Yeah, yeah.
I do have some stories to tell.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So,
I'm
so,
in the
so,
I'm in
so,
the medical field and the legal field, so I've got some stories to tell.
yeah. Now, just going back to Dallas one more time. It's a very big city, especially when you talk about the Dallas. If I'm pronouncing it right, the Metroplex area. That's when you include everything, right?
Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. Are you sure you're just ready to write off all the men in that area? Because I mean, you may have just ran across a few bad apples, but I'm pretty sure there's got to be some guys out there who will treat you like the queen that you are.
And I don't doubt that,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm I don't know how to say this exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're a black male, my son is a black male,
Mm-hmm.
and I have the ultimate respect
Mm-hmm.
for black men. I just don't think they're for me.
Wow, I get you.
I mean, I'm sorry,
Mm-hmm.
but I just don't think they're for me. I've dated outside my race before, and it was the best time of my life.
Wow.
Respect, courtesy, no game playing,
Mm-hmm.
and they brought it. And you know what else, elderly?
What?
Nobody was asking me, well, what do you bring to the table? Nobody asked me that silly stuff. I'm like, are you kidding me? Nobody has. I never experienced that when I dated outside my race.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. Well, again,
I mean, I was in the grocery store last weekend, and it was so funny.
what happened?
And this was before I heard your message about dressing up, and I thought, I'll put on some of my sundresses and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't doing anything. I was just walking, and two firemen, I think, and one of them was the chief. And I had my back to them because I was in line.
Yeah.
And they just said, "Oh wow, we having a fish fry today?" Just really friendly people,
Mm-hmm.
white men.
Wow.
Not no say what up, none of that foolishness. I could, I won't allow that.
I I I get it.
I just won't allow. I deserve better.
Yeah. What did you have on it, if you don't mind me asking?
You know what? It's so funny. I had on my workout tights.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah, because it was before I heard your message, and then I thought, see, I know I should pull out my sundresses, so I'm doing that now.
Oh, so you had the sundress on when the firemen were talking to you?
No, I didn't. No, I
Oh, you
didn't. That
didn't?
was
Okay.
before I heard your message.
Okay. Okay.
Because I just found you last week or week before. You came up on my feed.
Yes. Yes. Well, thank you. Thank you so much
Mhm.
for watching. I really appreciate it.
Oh, I love your show. I love it. It's amazing. I'm just hoping that these young ladies will understand and put a little salt in there. Don't be so gentle. These people need some male perspective.
Yes.
They need
Yes.
to stop listening to the girlfriends and all these people and
Yes.
listen to a man.
Yes.
I
Yes.
think if they start listening to you and Pastor Blake,
Mm-hmm.
they somehow they'll get some kind of epiphany and realize, hey, I don't have to do this. I don't have to chase this. I hope anyway.
Yeah. Thank you for the compliment, and that's one of the things that uh that's one of the reasons why I started this, because I'm just a firm believer. This is me, that ladies, the female, set the tone in all aspects of a relationship, and men are gonna follow the ladies' lead.
And
And
you're right about that.
and and, and,
You're,
and and if the ladies don't understand that they have a natural female leverage to lead, if they don't understand that, men, we are not going to
Mhm.
tell them. We're
Exactly.
not going to
And
tell
see,
them, because
I
that
didn't have
benefits us. See, that
right.
benefits a man
The
if
ball's in your court. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
the ball's in
Because
our court.
all you got to do is slide up to her and look her in her ear and all, baby, and they're gonna just melt. They know that.
That's it. They know it.
I didn't have the benefit of a father to teach me that.
Yeah,
I had to learn that the hard
yeah,
way.
yeah,
So now I think my son said, "Don't be mean to him, mom. If I'm
yeah.
not mean, I'm just not. I just don't have time to waste.
No time to waste.
I just don't have
And
time.
see, you could spot it a mile away.
Oh my God! Now,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
oh wow, yeah.
yeah.
So, well, I sure have enjoyed talking to you, and I'm gonna get off because I know somebody else wants to talk to you, and I want to finish listening to the show.
Okay, well, thank you so much. I really appreciate you calling in, and good luck on your move to Mexico. Keep us posted.
Absolutely, it'll be a while, but I
Okay.
definitely will.
All right. I commend you
Okay.
on that, because that takes a lot of
Thank you.
courage.
Yeah.
All
Well,
right.
sometimes you got to take a risk, you know.
That's true. Yeah. Very
Mhm.
true. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, call in again Monday, Thursday.
Oh, I will.
All
I'll be
right. All
calling.
right. We have a good
Okay.
night then.
Thanks. You too.
All right. Bye bye. All righty. That was a very, very, very great call. She said she's done up with the black men in the United States.
That you're seeing another person.
Anybody want to comment on that? Now, again, if you listen to my some of my videos, or you may have listened to my YouTube lives, I have not mentioned race, and I'm gonna tell you why I haven't mentioned race, because I strongly feel that all men are the same, no matter if it's white, black, Hispanic, a white man will lie and cheat on his wife to have sex just as quick as a black man. A Hispanic man will scheme and come up with games just to get sex out of a woman just as quick as, an Asian man or whatnot. But the caller who called in said basically that she was done because so much of the game playing. Does anybody agree? Anybody want to call in and agree with what the previous caller talked about? She called in from Dallas, Texas. And again, see, I'm on the outside looking in. I was thinking Dallas, Texas was one of the best places in America for dating, especially when you talk about the amount of professionals, the Fortune 500 companies who that are in that area, the high earning men, the high earning women, the education. I mean, to me, Dallas has the total package. I live in a small town in Louisiana. It's a whole different ball game when you start talking about the rural South. But when you talk about Dallas and Houston and cities like Atlanta, in my estimation, that's a whole different ball game just based upon the numbers. Will you run across some bad apples in Atlanta or Dallas or Houston or Chicago or Miami? Yes. But from a number standpoint, I would imagine that you would also run across some real good men. More good men, because you'll find good men anywhere you go. You could come right here to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, find good men, but will the numbers be able to stack up to, like I said, a place such as Charlotte, North Carolina, Los Angeles, things of that nature. All right. Somebody said, same here. I was trying to move to Texas. Yeah, expound on that 78 days because, again, I'm hearing so much positive things about Dallas. Some people, moved to Dallas and found their soulmate. And, 6 months later, they're married. And, some people may be struggling in other cities in the United States. They moved to Dallas and bam, making six figures. So, all right. Somebody else said, for me, it's not the race. With all due respect to the lady, for me, it's the mindset of a man. Okay, now, everybody going to like, what are they going to like? And that's just the way it is. I know what I like. Yes, we all like what we like. I will agree with you 100% on that. Okay, I got 7:48 my time. Let me get a couple more chats in there. Bella Noir said, there are bad apples everywhere. Yes, they are. But you have to position yourself and you attract the right people in your life. Very well said, Bella. Sincerely, Sharita said, black men want a feminine woman. Once you tell them your education, she said they run. If you don't sleep with them, they run. Dallas has not been a good experience for me. Okay, so I'm sorry about that, sincerely. Again, I'm just going by the literature and, some of the things that I hear, some of the things that I read, and, Dallas is the place to be for this. Dallas is the place to be for that. And I guess, judging by what Sincerely said and the previous caller, it's not all that what they say. All right, 78 Days says, yes, I have a female friend in Texas, and she loves it there, and I agree. I think there's a lot of young professionals in Texas. That was my assertion too. 78 Days that Dallas is one of the best places in America for dating. But I guess that's the people who are in Dallas, as Sincerely said, and the previous caller It's not all that up. Not. It's not all of that. So, all right. So phone lines are open. Anybody want to call in? Again, it's 7:50. I'll probably be wrapping this up early tonight. Got a few things to take care of. But again, if anybody wants to call in, numbers on the screen, 225-397-6922. Hopefully, you've been watching some of my videos. I should have another one put out tomorrow. I'm going to aim to try and do at least 3 a week. This was not a good week for me. Got some real close friends of mine who are having health issues. And I've been trying to be a good friend and go through some of the challenging issues that they have. All right, let's see what we got here. Hello, caller. You on the air? What's your name and where are you calling from? Yes. Can you hear me? Yeah. What happened? Two people are calling in at the same time. I'm not. Hold on. All right. You still there?
I'm here.
Okay. Much better.
Yeah, that's much better.
Yes.
So I'm watching you at the same time. Should I not be watching you, or
well, no,
that has nothing to do with it?
No, that was totally coincidence. As long as you don't have YouTube playing and you can hear me and we can have our conversation simultaneously the way we're doing it now we're good.
Okay. Well, I have a question.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm a little bit baffled. I met this gentleman. I know how you feel about, dating apps, but that's just, the way it is nowadays. But I met this gentleman off of a dating app, and he just fell hard, like really fast, like head in first. He was like communicating real consistent every day. It would be a good morning text and then an afternoon text, and then he would talk to me by the end of the day, or he would like mix it up. He'll call in the middle of the day, and he was just like very consistent. Like we went out on a couple of dates, and then that's where it went wrong. But he would make the reservations. He was a gentleman. He bought me a bouquet of flowers. Mm-hmm. But it came time for our next date, and I feel like I got stood up. And so now over this course, he was still like, calling, texting me, communicating well. And I ignored his, calls for the next couple of days because I was just like, angry. I didn't know what to think and I didn't want to say the wrong thing. So finally, the next call I got from him, and this was over the course of like a couple of days. Mm-hmm. So I did answer, and he was, he said hello, like everything was fine. Nothing was wrong or anything. And I said hello, but I was like, look, you stood me up. And then from there, he just went off the handle. He's like, no, what do you mean? Like, we're supposed to go this weekend. Not that I told you, like, I had a gathering with my family. And I said, no. And the proof was the communication was through our text messages because he sent me like the reservations, the place and everything. And he was like, well, that was just miscommunication and you could have called me too. Mm-hmm. And my thing is, I told him I don't chase men because I'm at a point in my life where I do know my worth. And I do want to be pursued. Like, you don't have to kiss my butt, but I want to feel wanted. And at the end of the day, like, I know a man goes after what they want. And he was doing that. But, okay, so I'm making this too long.
No, yeah.
I just don't understand.
Take your time.
I just don't understand, like, as hard as he felt, I don't really know if it was love bombing. I felt like he was kind of genuine, but I just don't understand if he was really interested in me. Like, why be dismissive and just why cut me off like so cold-heartedly? Like, I didn't say it was the end-all be-all. Mm-hmm. I was just trying to let him know, like, no, you stood me up and it better not happen again. Mm-hmm. But before I could even, he was like, okay. I hope you enjoyed our time together, our dates. He hung up. And so, okay, so there's a little bit more to the story. So for about, like,
a few weeks went by, so I just let it go because, like I said, I don't chase men. You know, he didn't call me, I didn't call him, and then I just couldn't take it anymore. Like I reached out through a text message,
Mm-hmm.
and I just hit him with, hey, blah blah blah, and how are you doing? And of course, he hit me with the who was this? Now I believe he knew who I was, but he's just still angry. So I didn't make a big deal. I said who I was, and then he just tried to have a nonchalant conversation. Oh, I've been busy at work, blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, call me if you feel free, something along those lines. And so he never did. So, and I'm almost done. So I let another week and a half go by, and I reached out again. I said, hey, such and such, when you are free, I would like to talk to you. If not, that's fine too. I will no longer be reaching out to you. So that evening, he called me right away and we spoke, and he was just talking like everything was like fine and everything. And he said he was going to call me the next day, but I haven't heard from him since. So I'm just trying to figure out like what happened,
Mm-hmm.
because the reason why I'm so like, wow, because it's hard this day and age to get a man to invest.
Yeah.
Like men nowadays, I feel like they're lazy daters.
Mm-hmm.
Like they don't, and not men, but what I've been coming across, I just feel like they don't put that kind of time and effort in. So I'm like, what was it with this guy? Like I was kind of interested.
Yeah, yeah. What's your name again?
I'd rather be anonymous.
Oh, you could have made up a name. Anyway, that's fine.
Erica.
Huh?
Erica.
Okay. All right. Erica. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. I'm just going to give you my quick take on it. Once again, as a male, 54 years on this earth.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Number one, I can't prove it, but I just got this instinct based upon how we work. Number one, he's married. That's just me.
He's married?
I would bet my last dollar he's married. He's married. Listen, I'm not saying he is. But what you're describing is all the characteristics of what married men do. Number one, when they're looking for a little fling on the side, what's the best way to do that? Go online. All right. Go online, you throw out the bait, see if someone reels in the bait. What do? You roll out the red carpet, but it's based upon his terms. And that's one of the main things that married men do. Married men have to call the shots as far as where the date is going to be at, the location, the time, all those things. Married men got to call that. See, married men hate surprises. They hate things, on a whim. Like you call them up and say, hey, baby, I was thinking about you. I'm going to come by your house and fix you lunch. Or I was thinking about you today. I made reservations at this restaurant. As soon as you get off from work, I want you to come over and have dinner with me. See, they hate surprises. They hate things on a whim. And so, once again, I can't prove it. But based upon what you've said, and I know how married men work, it has to work on their agenda. They have to set the tone. They have to set all the dates and the times. And then what happens is when they start to drop out of your life, in and out of your life, now you can start seeing those patterns. And like I said, I can't prove it, but I think if you think about it hard enough, some of the things that you have brought up tonight, and then maybe some things that may hit you later on, I think it may register, whereas you say, you know what? He got a good point. I think he is married as well. So to me, he's either married or he's in a committed relationship. But if I were a betting man, I would say married all day. That's just me.
No.
Like I said, I'm not saying he is, but that to me means to me checks all the boxes of how married men operate.
Wow.
Yeah. Because, okay, let's go back. Let's go back to the beginning. Okay. You said you met him online, right?
Yes, I
okay.
did.
All right. So you met him online. Okay. Okay. So I'm guessing he made contact with you, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Cool. So you met him online. he made contact with you. I'm guessing you looked at his profile, he was, I guess, physically attracted or whatnot. Maybe he said the right
Yes.
things in his initial contact. You decided to write back. I'm
Yes.
guessing that's correct.
Yes.
Okay.
And another thing is, I'm sorry to cut you off, but there were like a few, like, maybe like one red flag. I noticed that the SUV he drove in, it was like a family type SUV, and then on the back of the window, like the little yellow tags that says "baby on board."
Yeah.
So
See?
I pointed that out right away to him. I said, the back of your car has like baby on board.
Yeah.
And so he had a quick answer for that. He was like, because supposedly he had no kids. And I said to him, I said, well, it doesn't have to be your kids. It could be the woman you're with, her kids. And I said it just like that.
Yeah.
And he said, no, I wouldn't lie about, my kids. But he said he put those tags on the back of his car so that when he's on the highway, people wouldn't drive up close to him. And I mean, it just didn't make any sense because nowadays people are going to drive on your bumper regardless if you have baby on board or not. Like, where I'm from, like, this is like up north, like we just drive crazy. So people are going to drive your bumper.
Yeah.
It just didn't make sense. Like the whole car that he had, it just didn't look like a masculine car to me, and it just looked like a family car. And I didn't see any like car seats, but you could easily remove those.
Yeah.
But I just let it go because, like I said, the way he came on so strong, and I was just hating to doubt it because, like, it's hard to get a guy to show interest. So I wanted it to play out to see what it would have led to, like if he did have another woman. And then another thing, he was ready. He said, when you're ready, you can come down and meet my. It's obviously he's close to, like, he has siblings. He's close to. He's always making plans with them. And he said, when you're ready, you can come up and meet the family. Like, I have no problem with that. So, I mean, how would he have made all this work? Like, if he's married or even in a committed relationship, like, how would he's inviting me to meet his family already?
Well, okay. Let me just go back and just continue connecting the dots. See. And
I'm sorry for taking so long. You could cut it short.
No. You're fine. You are totally fine. See, one of the things I want you to realize, Erica, and to some ladies who are out there listening, see, when you're dealing with guys online, it's so easy for us to lie to you. It's so easy. It is so easy for us to come up with a profile. He probably went on somebody else's profile and wrote some nice sentences about himself and made himself look attractive as far as what he likes and what he's looking for. And so you see, a lot of guys will throw out those kind gestures about, I'm a fun-loving guy. I like family, like culture. They'll throw out those words on their profile, but you have to realize, Erica, it's only words. All it is words. And then let's say you start communicating with that guy online. Once again, it's only words. That's all it is. So these guys have mastered the nomenclature. They've mastered talking. They've mastered coming up with the right terms and the right phrases. See, when a guy is telling you that he's interested in you and he wants you to be the only one and he sees you as his future wife, once again, it's just words. It's only words. See, you can't take a man's words for face value for nothing. Because we will we will tell you exactly what we think you want to hear. And so you can never, ever take what a man is saying coming out of his mouth. Oh, you can't put any stock in that. None. Mm-hmm. Because men will lie. See, when a man has sex on his mind, when a man has manipulation on his mind, when a man has, trying to get money or whatever his motives are, see, all bets are off the table of what he will say or what he will do to make those things happen. Right. And again, that's why it just adds up everything that you're saying to me that he's married. Why? Because married men always come out the gate fast, especially when you talk about online dating. Well, I take that back. Men in general come out the gate fast. Why? Because they're trying to put your hooks in you. It's almost like fishing. When they throw that reel out there and let's say that fish bites at it, they're trying to reel that fish in. So how do you reel that fish in online? You hit them with the words. Like you said, he hit you, he will send you text. See, but what is that? That's only words that was sent electronically. You know, there are guys who are copy and paste that same text and send that to 50 other women that they're dealing with online. And that's why the online dating is so dangerous, because you got so many men on multiple dating sites and they're dealing with multiple women. And so that's why you got to be very, very, very careful with the online dating. Now, as I said earlier, my book, he married. That's just me.
No.
But hey, I'm not telling you what to do. But that checks off all the boxes of a married man in my estimation, because he
and sorry, not to cut you off again, but I gotta throw this in here. So I guess I just played right into his cards, because when he said you can come up and like meet the family, and I was like, no, I'm not interested in meeting nobody's family right now. I'm just trying to get to know you, because I had a bad experience with like meeting families. It wasn't the most friendly situation, so I just figured, I'll wait. So I guess that was a perfect answer to him.
well,
But how was he going to pull this off, though? Like, me meeting his family, and he was like communicating and making plans with me every weekend. And I don't like, to the point where he stood me up. What do you think happened there when I got stood up? Like,
he with his wife. That's what happened.
Wow.
Yeah. You got stood up because he was with his wife. He was with his family. And he couldn't get away.
Wow.
But once again, I cannot prove it. But it just checks all the boxes of how married men operate. So you said when he called you, he was talking what? Nonchalant, correct?
Yeah, he was very dismissive.
So from a man's perspective, that's what we do if our wife or our girlfriend is in the other room. So he probably had the phone. Okay, he probably had the phone as far as he didn't turn the ringer off. The phone came on. If his wife is in the other room, she hearing the phone ring, and the phone is next to him. She like, we know, we better answer that phone, because if we don't, wife is looking. She can hear it ring. So if we don't pick it up, her mind is gonna think, why the hell you didn't pick that phone up? So we'll pick the phone up and just be nonchalant. Hello? Hey, what's up? Over here chilling. Wow. Everything good. You see what I'm saying? See, now if the coast was clear, if the wife or the girlfriend is not around, then we can, serenade you with the nice words and tell you how much we miss you and we've been thinking about you all day. But we can't say, damn, baby, you've been on my mind all day. We can't say that if our wife or girlfriend is in the next room.
Right.
So that's just the way I see it. He knew he had to answer that phone. But hey, I could be wrong. But like I said, if I were betting, man, that's marriage all day. So you see, you got to come up with a strategy to vet these guys online, and it could be done, but it's just going to take longer.
Yeah, I'm figuring the best way to vet them is just going to take time. But I figured, like I said, I was interested to see how this would have played out. But obviously, this is how it played out. But I guess I still got a lot to learn, because this was all game. And because I said the red flags, I'm like, well, family and all, like, I don't know. It's just.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm going to take up too much. I don't want to hog up all your time. But I appreciate, your input. Okay. And I just want to say, keep on like doing these videos and putting in the work, because honestly, I feel like whether online or offline, dating it's one big circus show. Like it's really horrible nowadays.
Yeah,
It really,
yeah,
really.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
it's a circus show. It's really a challenge
Okay.
to just meet somebody decent.
Can I ask you a couple of questions if you don't mind?
Yes.
Okay. I'm guessing the
And
city.
that's my dog in the background. She's making noise. Nina.
Okay. I'm guessing that you two don't live in the same city, right?
No, we live in the same state, but we live like an hour and a half apart.
See,
So I'm in the southern part of the state. He's up north.
see.
So we live like an hour and a half apart.
Okay.
And
See,
he was willing, with gas prices, he was willing to like come to me, like
bet he
come all the way
was.
my way.
Listen, I bet he was. Why? Because he's getting away from home. See. Listen, I guarantee you, when you're in bed tonight, or if you go back and replay this video later on, a lot of the things that I'm saying when you're in bed, once you had a time to marinate and it's kind of getting to you, you'll see the signs. Of course, he said he doesn't mind coming to your city. Of course, he wants to come to your city. Why? Because he's getting away from home.
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm trying to get you to understand. See, there are men out there that just specialize in trying to sell a woman a dream. And
Wow.
that dream, sometimes you gotta go in that shower and just pour some cold water on you and wake up out that dream.
Right.
Because the words are gonna sound so good. Yes, they are. But once again, it's only words.
Wow.
And again, married men love to call the shots. Now, see, a lot of guys will throw out things such as he's saying, well, I want you to come up here and meet my family or whatnot. See, a lot of guys will throw that out just to throw it out, but in the back of their mind, they're praying that you don't accept them on those terms. Because if you would agree to go up to wherever city he is, I guarantee you he'd have called you a couple of days later, and some kind of way he would have weaseled out of it. Or you could test him on that.
Wow.
Or you could test him on that. In other words, you have no intentions of going to his city, but just test him. Call him one day. Hey, you know what? You remember you offered me the opportunity to go up there and meet your family? I want to do that. Just test him on that.
Yeah, I was thinking, I shouldn't have been so quick to say no. I should have said, I would like to do that, and soon.
Yeah.
I should have said that.
You made his day when you said no. But I'm telling you, if just test him on that, of course, I hope you don't go up there, but I'm just saying, just test him. Watch. This is how married men work. If you agree to meet his family, either that day or later on or a few days later, he's going to call you back and say, you know what? I know you were scheduled. We were scheduled for you to come up here this weekend and meet my family, but something came up. We got to postpone it, and we got to, I got to take a rain check.
Right.
Yeah. Test him on that, and I guarantee he's gonna weasel out of it. And you just call me back and just say, you know what, you were right.
But you know what? I think it's over because, like I said, now he just got really, really cold,
I bet.
I feel like it's not the way that it was. Like, so I feel like the only way, everything that you're telling me, I don't even want to talk to him now. But I was feeling pretty like messed up because, first of all, it wasn't even my fault. Like, he stood me up. Like, he treated me like I did something wrong. And I'm like, this is like crazy. Like, the whole situation is like crazy. Like, wow.
Yeah.
But the only way I would talk to him anymore, like, he would have to reach out to me, first. Because the last, couple of times I've been reaching out to him. And I don't really consider it chasing, because chasing is you constantly, if I did it again, that would be chasing. But I feel like we're two grown adults. Mm-hmm. And I'm just trying to, I let him know that it wasn't an end all be all. I still want to, communicate with you, but, it's not going to be a third time. And like I said, me reaching out to him once and twice, it was space in between. It was like 3 weeks, 2 weeks. So, but I made up my mind. I won't be reaching out to him again. Mm-hmm. And one more thing, because one time we had a discussion about talking to people online. And do you think it's a good idea? Now, I did tell him, because that's another thing. It's so much information out here, and there's so many dating coaches. And I told him, well, yeah, I am talking to like one other person. And he was like, why? He's like, well, you can scratch one of them off. I guess talking about the other person.
Yeah.
And because I was listening to somebody else, and they said you should let men know that you have options and you are talking to other people, in the early stages.
Yeah.
But maybe that's not a good idea. I don't even know if this has anything to do with how he reacted, but I'm just for future reference, is it a good idea to let men know that you're, talking to other people?
I'm just going to tell you, if I were a woman, number one, I know my female leverage. I know how men are. And I know that the man that I want for me, the man that's going to be my husband, the man that I'm going to commit to or whatever, that man is going to compete for me. That would be my attitude if I were a woman. And to me, there's no better way to make a man, well, I wouldn't say no better way, but one of the most effective ways to weed out the game players and the a-holes and the f-boys and the guys who are not serious and the guys who know my worth, knows a woman worth and wants to compete for that woman, does not mind competing for that woman, is to do exactly what you said do. That's what I would do if I were a woman. I would do that. That would be my strategy. In fact, I wrote a whole chapter on that in my book. That would be my strategy if I were a woman. But once again, to each his own, because I know how men are. See, I don't know your age, but I'm pretty sure you've heard your parents or your grandparents or your great-grandparents talk about back in the old days when we had something in place that was called courting. Courting meant before you even dated the lady, a man had to put his best foot forward to show that he was the best suited male for her, and the man knew that there were other men interested in her as well. So basically, it was the best man that won. So that was a system of what? Competition.
Right.
To win what? The prize. See, you can't if you say I'm the prize, well, it's got to be a competition. If a lady is saying I'm the prize, and I'm a firm believer that women, you are the prize, but if you're the prize, where is the competition to win the prize? And that's what, and that's one of the things I feel that so many ladies are missing out on. You know you're the prize, but you haven't implemented a system of competition for the prize to be won. And the first man that walks up, he's attractive, he's fine, he's sexy, he got the build, he got the walk, he just comes and talks a few verbs and says some words, and next thing you know, girl, I met Mr. Right. That's it. It's over with.
Right.
I'm committed to him. Damn. You didn't even put him through a system to make him compete for you. You just made it that easy.
Right.
So, that's just my take on it. But if I were a lady, you're gonna compete for me. And one of the things that you talked about is one of the most effective ways. Once again, you're being honest. See, I firmly believe in today's world, we have blurred the definition of dating to mean sex. See,
and that's another.
See, dating should not mean sex. So a lot of times,
in today's world, it does. People got their definitions confused.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. People have their definitions are all mixed up. It's what they want it to be.
Yeah.
And then that's why I said to you earlier, just keep on putting in the word. Ladies need to hear this. We need the strength, because there's a cult situation of manosphere, alpha, they are all teaching the wrong thing on how to deal with women. And they're teaching younger men this, and they have older following, middle age following, and it's just, I've heard people say their marriages were destroyed, because their husbands started listening to these men, and they started acting totally different. And that's why I said dating is a circus nowadays. I'm not old, but I'm not that young. I remember when, before all this social media, dating was very traditional, and men didn't have a problem pursuing a woman, taking her out. And now it all you get is that's why I said I felt like he was putting in the effort, because it's kind of hard to find that. And, men pick and choose who they want to do that for. So I thought he was choosing me. I don't know. But I guess it was all game. But I don't want to, I've been on here long enough.
Okay.
I'm going to let somebody else get through.
Okay.
But I also want to send you, what's the easiest, your Cash App or your, I'm going to send you some because I appreciate your time. And
no, thank you.
I might
really
call him
appreciate
again or email you because I appreciate your advice.
Thank
and
you so much.
one more short thing.
Go ahead.
I thought we were real short. I thought it was going to be something serious because we both suffered. I'm not going to go into it, but we both suffered a similar tragedy, due to this, the C thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought we were going to like be each other's support, but now I guess it don't matter. He didn't care like what we've been through together or what, because I'm like, wow, I met someone who went through the same tragedy I did. And I just thought it was from there. I thought maybe he would take me seriously and, but
Erica.
I guess not.
Erica.
Yes.
Okay. I'm about to make a gesture with my hands, and you tell me what this gesture means.
Okay, I'm watching.
What does that mean? He was only doing this.
What is that gesture?
Okay. No. Okay, let me just make it plain English. He was only talking. See, Erica, please understand this.
But why would he lie about something so serious?
Because that's what men do. We do that.
Oh, that's low. That's really low. You don't have to lie about something like that to get my attention.
Erica, listen. I promise you. Listen to me. I promise you. I'm not here to hurt you. Okay. I'm here to educate you. Okay. Let me tell you about men.
I'm sorry to keep cutting you off, but that's really. I know men lie, and there goes the length of line, but something that low, like that's really low.
Erica. Erica. Okay. See. Okay. Listen. Can I say something?
Yes.
Okay. All right. For example, see, I could be in a committed relationship. Okay. My girlfriend could be in the next room. Okay. See, I can see just based upon how you frame the question. Let's say you have an interest in me. I have a girlfriend. I'm not telling you I got a girlfriend. I'm not telling you I'm in a committed relationship. But you ask me, or am I in a committed relationship? And I know there's a good chance that you got feelings for me already. What do you think I'm going to say? If you ask me, are you in a committed relationship? What do you think I'm going to say?
You're going to say no.
Huh?
You're going to say no.
That's what I'm trying to get you to see. You cannot take any man's words at face value, especially when you're first meeting us. Because we will lie and say we're not married. We will lie and say we're not in a committed relationship. You could ask us, when's the last time you had sex? And we had sex last night, but we're not going to tell you that. We're going to say we had sex 8 months ago.
Yeah, that was sort of like the answer. And then in the last relationship, he said they were together 2 years and they only had sex 4 times. I'm like, you were with somebody for 2 years and y'all only got intimate 4 times?
It was only talk. I know you don't believe that, dude.
Man, that don't sound right.
Wait. Please tell me you don't believe that he was telling you the truth when he said he's only been intimate a few times within the last few months. But
I don't know. I did believe him.
But those are the lies we tell. We're not going to tell you we had sex 2 nights ago. We're going to say, no, we're going to pick a number like 8 months or maybe a year or something like that to give you the indication that, we've been monogamous. We haven't been in a serious relationship. We haven't been dealing with anyone else. But we had sex 2 or 3 nights ago or probably last night.
Right.
So,
wow.
That's all I'm trying to get you to understand. You can't take men's words at face value. You cannot. There's no way. That's a bad move. You can't do that. Because we will lie. We will lie about how much money we make. We will lie about where we work. We will lie about our marital status. We will lie about what type of car we drive. We don't care. Anything that we feel is getting closer to you and getting closer to that date of eventually having sex with you, we don't care what we tell you. It doesn't matter.
I understand guys lie. Sorry to cut you off. I know they lie about sex.
We will tell you whatever you think you want to hear.
But the tragedy situation nowadays, you don't have to go that far to lie to a woman. Like you can, nowadays women like you don't have to create a tragedy to. I mean, I know they lie about sex. They might lie about being single, but a tragedy, that's really low.
Okay,
no.
You
don't have to do all that to get a woman's attention nowadays.
Okay, listen to me. I wasn't saying he lied about the tragedy. No, I wasn't saying that. Mm-hmm. That could be true. Mm-hmm. That part could. I'm not saying he lied about the tragedy. That could be true. I'm talking about the other things when he talked about, he wants the serious relationship with you and you're the only one for him. He was pursuing you. He's sending you flowers.
The flowers thing. And
He was just
his last relationship. They only had sex 4 times. And
come on now.
Yeah. I guess it was all game.
Well, I told you. You can shoot test him to make sure. Just take him up on that offer to come visit him. I guarantee he's gonna weasel out of it. He's gonna say, something came up.
Do you think he will be reaching back out, or do you think he's married? He got busted.
Listen, I know he's gonna reach back out to you. That's what we do. He'll reach back out to you, and I'm gonna tell you.
But the last 2 times it was me reaching out to him first. I feel like he's not going to reach out unless I reach out to him. But you think he's going to come back around on his own?
Okay. Can I be honest with you?
Yeah, I want you to. That's why I called in.
Okay, hold on. I thought I had a prop next to me. Okay. All right, these glasses. Okay, these are glasses. I want you to imagine these glasses are a toy. And listen, I'm not trying to be funny, but I want you to imagine this is like a toy truck or just a toy in general. See, with men, when we start having our way, we start looking at you like a toy, whereas we'll play with you and deal with you when we want to, and then when we don't want to deal with you, we'll put you on that shelf and let you sit on that shelf for a few weeks while we deal with our wife or our significant other or the other women we're dealing with. And then some days we'll wake up and we'll say, you know what? I wonder what Erica's doing. And then we'll reach back, get that toy off the shelf and call you up again and see what you got on your agenda and see if we can hook up with you.
Wow.
So yeah. Is it low down? Yes. Is it unfair? Yes. But men don't give a rat's behind about your feelings.
No,
men don't care how you feel. Men don't care if you pace the floor all hours of the night, wondering their whereabouts. They don't care if they used you up for sex, play with your emotions, lied to you repeatedly, exploited your vulnerability. They don't care about that.
Wow.
They just gonna keep rolling like an 18-wheeler. On to the next.
Wow. And then they wonder why we have attitudes, why we're so closed off, and why we have all these boundaries and things. I mean, wow.
Yeah. So I would love for you to call back and give us an update. But like I said,
I definitely will. Like I appreciate this. Like I appreciate it so much. I definitely will send something to your Cash App. Through is that the only way? Yeah, I see your Cash App is up there.
Yeah, Cash App and PayPal.
Yeah, I really appreciate the input. I mean, this is really, because like I said, I was just a little baffled. I mean, none of this was my fault, and I'm like, what happened? I mean, I know guys play games, blah blah blah, but he just jumped in, head first, so strong, and he just I don't know. He had an answer for everything. I'm in the back of my mind.
Of
I'm
course he
thinking he
did.
was in a relationship, but I didn't think he was married. But I was thinking he had a relationship, but I'm like, how does he have time? But then women nowadays we work hard, we on our grind, and I guess maybe when she was at work, I don't know.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
He found the time, but
So what do you think? What do you think that van with the car seats and the stickers? What do you think that represented?
no, the van.
I think you
Yeah,
didn't you say it was
yeah.
a van or
But
something?
he had an SUV, but he also added to that story. Okay, so he told me that van was new because he initially had a truck that broke down and it wasn't worth fixing. So he said he just went to the dealer and got the most reasonable thing. And at the time his mother was alive and he was looking for something to take her to. That's what I'm saying. Like this is really like if you lie this bad, you gotta be habitual. So he said he was looking for something, easy to take his mother shopping in.
Yeah.
And, I don't want to get on into that, but supposedly, he never got a chance to do it because she passed away. But I just, what didn't sit right to me, like I said, was the baby on board thing. Like, I don't know a person who do that. And that's not something a man would do. Like, oh, I just put that there so people won't ride my bumper.
But think about it though. Think about it. Does it make sense that he's married and have a family?
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes more sense. Yeah. But he said that too. He said, I wouldn't lie about my own kids. That's what he said. Supposedly he has no kids, and he said, I wouldn't lie about my own kids. And I said, well, you know what this looks like. It might not be your kids, but maybe it's the woman that you're with. And he just worded me up and down. He was like, or he laughed it off or something he did, but.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'll call back in and thanks for your time
Yes,
and
ma'am.
I appreciate this and
Yeah.
I'm still a little baffled, but it helped that I spoke with you and like I said, I will be calling back in and I'm going to send you something. So
Thank you so
thank
much.
you.
I
I've hogged
appreciate
up
that.
enough of your time.
All right. We have a good night and keep us
You
updated.
too. Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Okay. Bye.
All right. Bye
Okay.
bye. Let's see. What time is it? I got 8:32 my time. Again, ladies, you online dating is very, very, very sketchy. And see, ladies, what I want you to be aware of is, see, online dating, it's a man's gift from heaven. That's how we look at it. That's how a lot of men look at online dating. Why? Because all we got to do is just communicate with you through a computer, and we can just dress up some of the. Hello, caller. Can you hear me? Yes. Can you hear me?
Oh yes, I can. Hi, how are you?
Good evening. How are you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing good. What's your name and what city and state are you calling from?
My name's Kat. I'm calling from Massachusetts.
Massachusetts. Wow.
Yeah.
All right. What you got, Kat? You Kat, correct?
Yes, Kat. Yes.
Yeah. What you got? What you got, Kat?
All right. So I'm calling. I guess it's a multi-layered question.
Mhm.
It's pretty much about at what point do we settle? I guess, or if we even settle at all. Let me actually lower the volume so I can hear myself. All right. So, pretty much, I've dated an ex maybe about 13 years ago. Every so often, we've maintained communication over the years. After I went to college, that's when we dated. But I met him when I was about 18 or 19 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And so we maintained communication. We were like friends. And then after college, we started talking again, now dating. So what I didn't know at that time was that he was in a relationship. He was in a relationship for 3 years with a woman, I believe. So once I found that out, I was like, nope, I'm not dealing with it. And so I stopped talking to him for maybe about a couple of months. But then we later went back together. He said he went in psych therapy, and so pretty much not that I guess I was the woman he chose, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're in a relationship for about 4.5 years, and I pretty much like broke up with him. I broke up with him because my mom, she was dealing with a lot with a lot of health issues, and she later passed away, and it was just like not a good time in my life. Also, I started thinking about, well, what do I want in terms of relationship? And to be honest with you, I was never really physically attracted to him, but I knew he was always driven. And coming from a family where my mom, she did a lot. She was like the breadwinner, She maintained the household, and my dad was there, but he just wasn't the best provider.
Yes.
So I've always had in my head that I never wanted someone like my dad, because he just didn't do what a man should have done.
Mm-hmm.
So, so I guess that's like part of the reason why I stayed with him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we did have a decent relationship, but again, it was part of the attraction that just wasn't there. So we broke up. And then after that, let's say about 27 or so, I broke up with him. And then over the years, we still maintain contact. He tried to get back with me many times, but I never really allowed it. And plus, honestly, I just didn't know a whole lot about myself yet. I mean, that was my first relationship. I just didn't have a lot of experience in that department as well. So, of course, I've dated quite a bit, not quite a bit, but I've dated after him, and it was tough out there. It was definitely tough out there because now I've met different kind of men, different caliber of men. Some they were attractive, but they weren't good men.
Yes.
And then I've met some men who were decent men, but of course I wasn't attracted to them.
Mm-hmm.
Attraction to me is not everything. It's not like I'm a model myself or looking for a GQ type of man, but I'd like someone that I'm visually attracted to. But anyhow, so long story short, here I am now at 40 years old. I'm single,
Mm-hmm.
and I've tried the online dating. That's what I just like heard the previous caller. I'm like, girl, run, just leave that situation alone because it's a mess out there. It's a mess everywhere with dating.
Yeah.
But online is just, that's a whole nother ball game.
It is.
So pretty much back to my ex, we're still in communication. He's still expressing interest. And I've had some friends who are like, girl, why don't you just talk to him? The guy, he's stable. He's an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
He's a high income earner. He has multiple homes. I mean, so he's doing well for himself. So if it was about the money,
Mm-hmm.
I would have been with him a long time ago,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it's not just about that for me. But of course, I guess I'm also like conflicted too now at this stage in my life because I've experienced now what it is like to be out there a little bit. And I've spent a lot of years, I guess, healing. I've been to therapy as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm kind of thinking, okay, well, maybe at this point I should just, I just like settle, if you want to call it that.
Mm-hmm.
Although I don't like the word, but I know realistically at some point we all settle.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess, I don't know, I just needed a different perspective, a male's perspective, since I don't have that.
Yeah.
And
Well, first of all, again, thank you for calling, and I'll just give you my perspective
mm-hmm.
on your situation.
Mm-hmm.
Men like the person you described
Mm-hmm.
are real hard to find.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sure you've learned that. They are extremely hard to find. Now, let me just before I give you expound on that. Let me just tell you a bit of a brief history about myself. Okay. If I'm not mistaken, you said that you two met when you were 18.
Yes.
Okay. All right. 18 years old. Okay.
And he was always almost like attracted to me and just like in love with me. He used to say things that like,
yeah,
he thought that I was never as into him as he was into me, for example.
Okay. Now I'm gonna take you back in time. I'm just gonna tell you my story, and then I'll expound on your question. Okay. Because what you described about that young man reminds me so much of me. So I vividly recall when I was 18 years old, okay, 1986. There was this girl, boy, I was so crazy about her. And it was during a time where I didn't have everything together. Of course, I'm 18, you know, I'm still trying to feel everything out as a man or whatnot. And I was so crazy about this girl. You know, right now she's a professor. I may be giving it away because she may have found my account and, you know, lurking or whatnot. But she's a professor now on the college level. But my goodness, I was so crazy about this girl, and I would do anything. I mean, she was just the world to me, and I was pursuing and pursuing and pursuing and pursuing and pursuing at 18. Then I wouldn't say we lost contact, but you know, issues of life. You know, she went and you know. Got married, did her thing, and I went, you know, military, whatnot, did my thing, and then I saw her again. I would say I was maybe in my early 30s. Guess what? That attraction was still there, and pursuing and pursuing and pursuing. It just seems like we couldn't get on the same page. Then in my 40s, guess what? The same girl. Just it was just something about her. I mean, you know, going back to when I was 18 or whatnot, and for some reason we couldn't get on the same page. But what I'm trying to get you to understand, young lady, is this. See, when you meet a man when you're young, and he's head over heels for you when you're 18, and then, you know, things may not go, you know, exactly as planned. You may you go east, he goes west, and then you reconnect again, and he still has that same passion and love and desire for you. And then on up to your 30s, it's still there. I'm going to tell you something, young lady. I can't tell you what to do, but I promise you, you got something. Now, whatever you do with it is totally up to you, but it's going to be very hard for you to meet a man who's going to have that same level of love that he had for you when he was a young man, and it hasn't relinquished one bit over time. Because see, there are going to be a lot of Johnny come latelys that's going to come in. They're going to talk a good game. You know, they may have disposable income where they can, you know, wine and dine you and spoil you and give you, you know, the finer things in life and show you, you know, this side of the world and that side of the world, and everything just looks so good. But is it for real, or is it only superficial? Just the outside is looking good. In other words, they really don't have that love like that man has for you. Not just the love, but see, in order for him to pursue you all those years, there's a word that's called admiration. You know, the root word is admire. See, that man not only loves you, but he admires you. He looks at you as if you're his queen. I mean, he worships the ground you walk on. So again, I cannot tell you what to do. The decision is totally up to you, but it's going to be real hard to find another man to match the love that he has for you. It's going to be extremely hard. And if you decide not to give him a chance, it may be something that you regret. So, I just want you to think about that. But what you described, oh my goodness, it reminds me of a lady right down here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And, she may have found my page. She may be lurking, but, you know, if you looking, you got your PhD from a Big Ten university that starts with an I. But anyway, that's another question. But I was so crazy about this girl. My goodness. And it just reminds me so much of some of the things that you talked about. But the good part is, you've dated him. You know what type of man he is. And for a man, and for a man, once again, to pursue you that long, and the love and the admiration and the respect, none of that has relinquished. None of that has gone down. Oh, young lady, you got something. I mean, you really got something. See, the old women, a lot of old women would tell you, baby, a bird in one hand is better than 10 in the bush. You know what that means?
No.
So,
but I think I've pretty much gathered.
See, that bird is the guy who's pursuing you. He's in your hand. He's there. But we're talking about that 10 in the bush. You don't have them. You just see them. So you may be thinking that the grass is greener on the other side, and it could be. But how many dogs, players, F-boys, A-holes, pickup artists will you run across to get to? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But here's the thing. I mean, he did cheat in the earlier days, or he had a significant other that I didn't know about when we were, during the college years or after the college years, I should say.
Yeah.
And the weird thing about it, so we met up this past weekend because I'm looking to make a purchase, and he he made another purchase with his home, his third home. So I was with him because he knows I'm also interested in that as well. Excuse me. And when we met, I was basically just recording something for him since he had asked me to. But when I was recording, I lost my space, or I was trying to get back to the video, and pretty much I kind of scrolled a little bit all the way up. So I did see that there were a woman that I recognized that he was with or was in a relationship with for about 8 years, I think. I'm not sure. I don't know the full details. And of course, we weren't together. So, I can't be mad about that, but I saw it. But later, we went out for dinner. He took me to a nice restaurant to go out to eat. He was just thanking me for my help with the house, because I just recorded it, and just, I met a couple of the tenants. But anyhow, so we went out to eat, and I just asked him a question. Oh, how's the dating, the dating scene going? And he's like, oh, he's just too busy with work, and he's really not focused on dating. But that's not true. I mean, according to some of the pictures that I saw they were in January of this year. Granted, he's not with me, but I guess the fact that he's cheated before, many years ago, he said he would never do that again. But the fact that I then asked him this question, and he wasn't forthcoming with me. So I'm like, gee, is this so back in the past, or I don't know. It's just layered.
Yeah, but if I'm not mistaken, you said that during that time you two were not together, right?
No, we're not together. But I did have him.
I mean, the time you were describing that the cheating occurred, you were not together, correct?
No, we were together.
Oh, you were? Okay, so you were.
Yes, this was when I was in my 20s, in the earlier part of the dating, let's say I was 21 around the time, so that was in the earlier part of the dating. He had a girlfriend, which I didn't know, until basically now I'm in the picture. I guess he was trying to get with me for many years, and I just basically always kind of, denied that, or I just didn't want to be involved with him then. But then I'm like, okay, let's, we were friends and we were hanging around that time. Then I said, okay, I was open to a relationship. So he already had someone at that time.
Okay. All right. So let's make sure we're on the same page. You're saying that he cheated when you two were in a committed relationship, or?
Well, we were dating. Yes. He had a long-term girlfriend though at that time. So he was dating both of us at the same time. So we were getting the same gifts. He would give her Tiffany's. I would get that too. So he would get those gifts. We both had the same thing. And months into it, that's when she called me. So
Mm-hmm.
we did have that episode, and he went to therapy, and but so we did have, and that's where my lack of trust in men started from him, someone
Yeah.
who I trusted heavily,
Yeah.
at the
Yeah.
time.
But see what I want you to realize is, and I'm not saying this is what happened, but you would be surprised how many men out there who will commit an offense such as cheating and realize that was the wrong thing to do, that they did, and are seriously remorseful for what they did. Now, again, I don't know the man, never met him or whatnot, but see, I'm gonna tell you something about men. Anytime a man is willing to go to counseling, that means that he is serious about salvaging that relationship. Because one thing about men, we are so stubborn. It's almost like pulling wisdom teeth for us to go sit and air our grievances out to another person, such as a counselor, because men, see, we automatically believe that we know it all, that we should be able to know, we should be able to solve our own problems. Not the man and the woman, but the man. We should be able to solve the problems for me and you. So we just got that ego. Whereas a lot of times, you bring up counseling, we'll be like, I ain't going to no damn counselor. For what? I got this under control. But see, what I want you to realize is, not only did he go to counseling, but he realized how important that was to you. And so to me, it sounds like you have a man who is considerate of your feelings. Because for a man to go to counseling, we really got to swallow our pride, realize that, listen, not only is this something that we need to do, but this is something we need to do for our lady. Because for you, it sounds like that was a very, very important step. Because a lot of men, once again, like I said, if you bring up counseling, hey, babe, I think we ought to go to counseling. What? I ain't got no damn counseling. I got this. Oh, we can work this out ourselves. We don't need to go air our grievances to somebody else. And 9 times out of 10, they have problems too. But to me, it seems like he realized how important that was to you. And he was like, okay, this is the woman I want to be with. Okay, if she feels that this is important, I'll go just because I'll support her. And I realized that it's important for us to heal as a couple and move forward. Mm-hmm. So again, it just goes back to what I'm saying. Young lady, there are so many game players out there, and you won't know until that onion, that layer of the onion is revealed. So any man you meet is going to come across as charming and nice and sweet and considerate. They're all going to lay out the red carpet for you. They're all going to, come to you like an angel, sinless. And I'm just the best man in the world. And, I've just been bouncing around from these bad relationships, and I'm looking for a woman who's going to be, the best woman, who's going to, the best woman that can, we can build something together. They're all going to present that type of narrative to you. They're not going to own up to their mistakes and the cheating and the things that they did, the lying and the mistrust and the manipulation. No man's going to admit that. But I guarantee you, we got that in our baggage. So again, if you don't deal with the man that you described to me, look at the chances that you're going to take dealing with these other guys, because they're going to be angels in the beginning. They're going to be complete angels. I guarantee you that, because that's just how we roll. Mm-hmm. So it sounds like you got something real good. Because see, let me tell you another thing about men. See, when we're fed up with a woman, I mean, just honest, just fed up from the neck up. We just say? We say F her. Mm-hmm. See, when we fed up, We just fed up. That's it. I have pursued. I put my best foot forward. I tried to win her heart. I did all these mental gymnastics. I've done everything I could do. See, when we all the way fed up, we just say, F her. I'm going on about my life. And for him to hang in there, in my estimation as a man, to me, you got something. Are men perfect? Nope. But I don't know you, but if you look in the mirror, guess what? You're not perfect either. And so, yeah, does he have faults? Of course he's going to have faults. We're human. But look at the time and the energy that he's hung in there with you all these years. That takes a very, very, very exceptional man to do that. And that's usually a man who's like, this is my soulmate. This is the one for me. I'm just going to keep fighting till I die. Sounds like you got one of those. But like I said, I can't tell you what to do. But those type of men, in my estimation, are very, very, very hard to find. Very hard. Yeah. I mean, does some of the things I'm saying, does it kind of resonate?
No, it definitely resonates.
Yeah.
It definitely. I mean, he's definitely always so persistent, and sometimes I'm like, wow, I can't believe how persistent he is.
Yeah.
And I know he would do anything for me. I mean, I do believe that. But it's just.
See, that's the good thing, because you have experience with him. See, if he were the type of guy that you really couldn't depend on, experience would have told you, girl, don't mess with him anymore, because he let me down on this occasion. He let me down on this occasion. He let me down on that occasion. But it sounds like he always answered the bell pretty much any time that, you needed a shoulder to cry on, or he was always supportive. See, it sounds like the track record that you and him have, it's been basically pretty good, other than, that one incident. And so if you got all those positive things going on with him, and you don't have any bad references, to make you say, well, you remember this, if you let him go, let me ask you this question. Okay, let's say you let him go. Okay. Are you ready? Can you handle it if you see him engaged or in a relationship with another lady, knowing that you could have had him? Are you ready to, can you handle that?
Maybe not, but I guess at this point, I know we can't keep on doing this dance type of thing anymore. Especially I was there, in the beginning before. I mean, now he's doing very well for himself. I mean, he was always driven anyway, but I was there and I was supporting him, not supporting him financially, but I was like supportive, or heck, I even invested a little bit in his own business too when I first started. So now I guess maybe I'm a little selfish now too, given that I knew him before he got to where he's at now. So maybe I felt like, I don't know, not that I deserve some of this stuff, but
Yeah.
So. Yeah. But yeah, I guess I would be. But I don't know. I guess I'm just gonna have to decide if I want, because I see that he still is expressing interest. So
yeah. See. You said
it's just, I guess I'm nervous because I know attraction is not everything, but I was never able to be. I was just never that attracted to him. Of course, it's the other qualities about him that's making me a little bit more attracted to him. I'm like, wow, this guy. He's, no matter what, he's always finding me, like, to him, I guess, like a very attractive person. The most, he just thinks very highly of me.
Yeah.
And I don't know, that says a lot, because I've met different kind of men now, the successful ones who just thought they were just, whew. And you met some, they were successful, but they weren't, not decent people. They were good people. And now he's gotten what I like from a man in terms of, he's caring, but it's just the attraction. I'm just nervous about that.
I understand. I definitely understand. Well, I mean, you I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say thank you. Just thank you for listening and for offering your advice.
Yeah,
I appreciate.
you have a very difficult decision.
Mhm.
You know, but it's totally up to you. But I just want you to think about it because, like I said, good men, well, men such as the guy you described, they are very, very, very hard to find, especially one who were hanging there all those years.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's very rare, especially in today's world.
Mhm.
But
Oh,
feel free to call back and give us an
yeah.
update. I would love to know what happened.
Yes, I'll give an update. So thank you again. I appreciate your advice. I mean, I found you last week, so I've just been watching your videos.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Yes.
All
So,
right, we have a good night.
all right, you too.
All
Bye
right,
bye.
bye bye. All right, we had a couple of people call in. That was a great phone call. She definitely has a tough decision. Uh, Again, ladies, when you, I don't know the man, but sounds like a man who made a mistake. And we make mistakes. I'm pretty sure if we're honest with each other, we take assessment over our lives. We can all look in the mirror and admit that we have made mistakes. But for somebody to hang in there all those years, you know, like I said, reminds me. All right. Good evening, caller. Can you hear me? Yes. Good evening. Can you hear me?
Oh, firstly, thank you so much for your time and wisdom. I have a curious question. There was a young man that I went to high school with. I'm 36 now, so this is like I've known this man half of my life. And we have some on again, off again, but someone in our social network and I were going to do business. And I guess I caught this man's attention and he saw me as a wife. And they're in the social, music industry and that. And he publicly wrote music for me and it triggered my ex. And now they're in a secret feud and both of them are playing chess or have nothing to say. It's quite confusing. But I really, I love my friends
Mm-hmm.
and I just want to protect my reputation.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what to do about these men. They're kind of like having a secret fight over me.
Wow.
Meanwhile, neither of them will tell me about it. This has been going on for 2 years now.
Yeah. Yeah. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hi, my name's Amanda, and I'm calling from Detroit, Michigan.
Detroit. Yeah. Well, first of all, Amanda, thank you so much for calling. I really appreciate it. Amanda, you may not believe this, or you may not have tuned into the show earlier. I started at 7:00 tonight. What you called in about is exactly the show's topic tonight, where I talked about dealing with your ex-boyfriend wanting you back.
Wow! And I just queued it. I just now tuned in on the live. I'm like, oh, neato.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what tonight's show was about. That's what my opening was about. What to do when your ex wants you back. And so you have perfect timing. Now, I'm just going to give you, once again, a male's perspective. Okay. I'm guessing that you spent the more time with your ex as far as in a relationship than the new guy, correct?
I've actually never even met the new guy.
Oh, okay.
So it's crazy, yeah. So the old guy, if you will, that's my ex. Like, we've been through a lot together. We got in trouble as kids together, and then I was set to do some business with the new guy, and he didn't really reply, which he's got a degree of popularity under his belt, and I figured he was busy. I kind of forgot about it. I kept on doing what I was doing, and all of a sudden, the old guy is kind of giving me weird energy, and I'm like, oh, gee, what is it with you?
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, there's like all this music written all about me, and I was startled. Then I realized why the old guy was acting up, and it really was happening during a very trying season in my life where personal things were happening.
Mm-hmm.
And it made me feel like, did I start trouble? Like, I don't understand these men. Like, should I?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm just trying to get some context because trust me.
Okay.
I understand men. Okay.
Okay,
Now,
I believe you.
I understand us. Okay, so I'm understanding where your ex comes into play. You're saying the new guy, you've never met him?
Never met him. He is in our social network, and he took a lot of inspiration for what he does from some of my close friends and kind of ran with it, dedicated himself, and became successful. And I almost inadvertently unearthed some underlying energy just regarding that. But then the guy, so I had approached him to do some business, and I knew that I would be an asset to his vision, and I really trusted what he was doing in the community.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I caught his attention, and he's like, who is this person?
Mm-hmm.
And in researching me, the old guy caught wind of the thing, like, hey, so-and-so's asking about they still call me his girl, even though we never really had that true official commitment. Like, we were high school boyfriend and girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Then we were really close, but he never made me his girl. And in fact, he tried to set me up with another of our friends. And I said, don't you dare do that.
Mm-hmm.
And he did it. But it was almost a test even, because he gets really protective and funny when people show me such favor. Like, he's very protective and funny about me. It's so weird. He blocks and unblocks me.
Oh, okay. All right, just help me out because I'm still trying to get the context. I don't need to know anything else about your ex. Okay, you don't have to explain anything about him. I'm trying to. The new guy, you said you've never met him, but you're dating. I'm trying to. What's the situation? You're dating, or it's like it's a platonic friendship, or he reached out to you to tell you that you've inspired him to do music, and now he wants to date you, or what is it?
So he already he's like a little cousin of our friend. He's part of my social network, but I don't know him personally, but we know all of the same people. And I had caught wind of who he was through my social network, and I had sent him an email regarding business.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't reply to it. But then I was just interested in partnering and just helping him with what he was doing in our community.
Mm-hmm.
So I had sent him outreach regarding those things.
Mm-hmm.
And the next thing I know, there's all this music about me. Like, it's basically describing me and everything about me and everything I'm about, my appearance, my friends, everything. Like, he made a whole series of music about me.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of ever responding to me personally, he, in front of 40,000 people, released all this music. And I was so confused and shocked and startled. Like, I saw this person, like, I felt that he would be a good mentor for me. And he was the only person in our community that I felt really had the discipline and the vision to partner with me. And I had reached out to him to partner. And like I said, he didn't respond, which whatever, like, I didn't think too much about it. And I think when he didn't respond, he was trying to figure out who I was, and he was studying me quietly, which kind of made me mad. because why wouldn't you just speak to me like plainly? Like this is also secretive and weird, and so then there's all this. So his response was like a month later, in the form of a series of media content that was designed about me, and it triggered like a whole feud, like where they had battled each other. They about fought several times, and it was like a whole thing. And I'm just trying to figure out what the heck is going on. And in the meantime, I've kind of gotten my feelings all mingled and confused, and I want to regain my center and help with,
So you're saying basically you're kind of torn in the middle because you have feelings for both of them?
At this point, 2 years later, I feel confused.
Okay.
Yes,
okay,
and I don't know what's right to do. Like what's morally correct.
Yeah.
I don't even know anymore. Yeah.
All right. So let me just talk about men's nature real quickly, and then I'll get to answering your question. One thing that I always tell ladies is that, see, when you're dealing with men, okay, listen to me carefully. See, when you're dealing with men, I want you ladies to start looking at men the same way you look at a dog. And let me explain. Not in a bad way. Not in a bad way. Not saying we're some dumb animals, whatnot, things of that nature. What I'm saying is, see, men and dogs have so many similar characteristics and instincts. See, if you strip away a man's brain, his ability to think, his rational thinking, to solve problems, etc. See, if you strip that away, see, all men we have will be operating on natural instincts. The same way a dog operates on natural instinct. You don't have to tell a dog to have sex. Why? It's natural. You don't have to tell a man to have sex. Why? Because it's natural. We have that natural instinct. And the other natural instinct I always talk about that men and dogs share is that natural instinct to dominate. Okay? Starts when dogs are puppies. When that dog has that litter of puppies, one of those dogs out of all of them is going to be that alpha. How do you know which one is going to be the alpha? Because that alpha is always going to weed its way, make its way, and knock every dog off that breast of the mother to make sure that he feeds first, or he feeds whenever he wants to feed. Same thing in men. It starts early. You could take two boys, you could give both of them a toy fire truck, and one of those boys would play with that fire truck, the other one is playing with his fire truck, and they broom, 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 broom. Sooner or later, we're talking 2 years old, one of those 2-year-old boys is going to look at the other one playing with that Tonka truck. You know what he's going to say? I want that Tonka truck too, that fire truck too, that toy fire truck. Because he's not going to be satisfied with just one, even though they both have the same toy. So one is eventually going to try and take the other one's toy truck. And then you may walk over as a parent and say, hey, you two need to learn how to share. Share? We don't understand that. Why? It's that natural instinct to dominate. When you talk about football, what do you see? Two men, 300 pounds, battling each other. One is trying to dominate the other. Wide receiver and cornerback, got domination. You see what's going on in the world today. One country wants to overtake another country. That's men showing that natural instinct to dominate. Now, going back to dogs, if you put a male dog and a female dog in a fence together, let them cohabitate together, sooner or later that male dog naturally, that instinct to dominate is going to say, this mine, this my woman. Another dog approaches that fence, and that dog is going to check that dog for approaching his fence because he's like, nah, this mine, this my woman. And so they could growl at each other through the fence or whatever, but the dog that's in the fence is going to run that other dog off or try everything he can do to run that dog off. Now, what does that have to do with you? See, what I want you to understand is your first boyfriend, see, that he was the one in that fence with you. And a lot of times, see, if you got away out that fence and another dog is interested in you, see, in our mindset, because you said something that was very, very, very profound. You said he didn't really start pursuing you again until he found out what? another man was on the scene. And see, that's what a lot of men do. It's that natural instinct to dominate. It'll rise up and say, wait a minute, another man is on the scene? I cannot have it. I'm going back and get my woman back. Even though you may have left him and said it's over with, we've ran our course, there's nothing left in this relationship, it's over with. But even though you may have ran off and may be interested in another guy, it's just that natural instinct to dominate rises up in us and say, no, you mine. And whoever that new guy is, guess what? We're getting ready to clash. And we don't mind clashing because once again, it's that dominant instinct in us. Look at what happened with Kanye West and the new guy that Kim Kardashian was currently dating. Look at how Kanye, that natural instinct to dominate, rose up in him, and he said, "Nope, the new guy. Look, man," and he had to go on the internet, and he said certain things about, if he sees him, or it could lead to whatever. See, what I'm trying to get you ladies to understand is that's just me. That's just how we operate. And so when our woman gets away from us, and in a lot of instances, we find out that she's dealing with another person, whether she's in dating or engaged or whatnot. Sometimes we'll just rise up and say, nope, I can't accept that. I'm going after her and I'm going to pursue her harder just to get me back. And that's what I was talking about in the beginning of my in the beginning of my video tonight. See, you have to ask yourself. See, you got a track record with your ex, and guess what? Your ex knows it. See, men, we know that track record that we have with you. It could be 6 months, it could be a year, it could be 3 months, it could be 3 years. We know the track record. We know how much time we have with you. And see, a lot of times what we're betting on is the longer the time length that we have with you, and you meet somebody and you just met him and you've only been with him maybe a month or 2 months or maybe 3 months, and we know that we've been with you 3 or 4 years, see, we automatically think, I got 4 years in with her, he only has 3 months. It's not going to be hard to get her back. So I'm guessing, I don't know your situation, I'm guessing, once again, he wants you back. Now, he could be truly remorseful for what he did and realizes that you were a good woman and says, you know what, I just want my lady back because I realized that I messed up and made some stupid mistakes and some stupid decisions, and he really, truly wants you back to work things out, to show you that he's really the right man for you. It could be that. But only you can make that decision. So right now, I would ask you, where is your heart leaning towards? Because if you've been with a man for X amount of time and you just meeting this guy, he just come on the scene, 9 times out of 10, you still got your feelings wrapped up with the guy that you've been in that relationship with previously, depending on how much time you've been with him.
So it's two things. Like, it's personal and then it's also creative business. Yeah. And yes, there's history and respect and honor. I mean, we've known each other half of my life. So even though it does, our history ebbs and flows, I feel like this whole thing is more about that instinct than it is about the actual relationship that they're trying to build with me. Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm sitting set apart from the whole situation, still with things going on. Like, it's not exactly cute or convenient or loving to be being secretive and extra and doing all. It just adds stress to the situation that I already have. So to me, that feels like either of them actually care about me, that it is more purely based around instinct. Like, the toy on the floor that the dog doesn't want to play with until the new puppy comes and thinks it's a cool toy, and all of a sudden, it's my toy. Yeah, but you don't care about the toy. Yeah. You care, like he calls, he tends, he checks on, but he's just, funny acting, and I don't think it's cool for him to try to block business opportunities or any. I don't feel like it's a cool thing to try to block a thing that you're not trying to tend to either.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
tend to or go away, but you can't pee on the tree and then that's your tree.
Okay.
That's
So the new guy, is there something about him that you're attracted to, and you could possibly see him as a potential mate, a potential boyfriend one day?
Yeah, like I feel like this is the first person in our social group that like I actually saw something there. But I also, after it's been like 2 years by now, I also can see why the old friend that I have would say no, because there were aspects in the new person that wasn't fully. But also, it's like you can't just keep blocking things. You have to trust me to be discerning as well. And
Yeah.
he kind of plays daddy, big brother, and lover, and he can be really protective, and they're both very like art of war, mentally conscious and chess type people, and I think the most important thing is I just want to do the right thing.
Of course.
Like, yeah.
Of course. Well,
So that's why, yeah, because I actually did feel like there was potential. But then, like, at this point, it's 2 years later, I've never even met the man. They're literally going at it. I know this. I see it. Like, I can feel it. My intuition, like, I dream of it even. Oh my gosh, then I end up working with one of the girls that the new guy, had been seeing quietly. And I
Wow.
figured it out so quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, wow, like, okay, so you're obviously seeing people, but you still haven't approached me. And yet all this music is very obviously written about me. And you, like, why? We live in the same city. The other one, I don't live in the same city as him anymore.
Mm-hmm.
He lives far away. But, like I said, like we do have a creative network, and it's just, I think it's so beautiful of a vision for us all to put hands together, because we can. And the politics and being secretive, and it's just confusing. And I've never in my life disrespected my ex when it comes to like other people in our social network ever once. It's been like a decade. And so I feel like I almost want to say to him, like, you should be happy for me. Why are you not happy? Or do you love me? And if you do, I respect that. And I'm not really trying to play. No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me just say this real quickly. Okay. The new guy. Let's say you really want, let's say your feelings for the new guy are stronger than the feelings you have for your ex. And what's your name again?
My name is Amanda.
Okay, Amanda. All right. I'm just going to give you
Yes.
a male's perspective. Okay. See, the new guy's, his cell phone, before he even made a move toward you, okay, before he even, sent the first mode of contact, you have to understand he was already dealing with multiple women already before he even made a move towards you. So I'm just trying to help you out. Just hear me out. I'm just trying to help you out with something. See, men, when we're first meeting you, even though we are interested in you, we don't know for sure if you're going to share that same mutual interest in us. So my point is, don't expect him to stop communicating with other women just because he reached out to you, because there's a chance that it may not work out with you. And so there's no way on this earth he's going to throw away all the contacts and all the ladies he's been conversating with for you, even though he's interested in you, but it's not a sure thing. We're not going to throw all these contacts away on a gamble, because it's the initial stages. I'm trying to get to know you better, but I'm not sure that you're going to reciprocate. So all I'm saying is, if you find out he's conversating with other women, I think you're wasting energy getting mad about that because he's not 100% sure you're going to reciprocate the attractiveness that he has to you to him. So
Well,
don't get bent out of
proclaim
shape if you find out
celibacy.
he's contacting other women because that's just
Well,
men's
don't.
nature. We
But
are
he's
not going to bet the whole.
proclaiming.
Just hear
He's
me out. Just hear me out. We are not going to bet the entire ranch on somebody that we just met and we're not 100% sure it's going to work out. So don't spend that negative energy getting mad because you find out that he was talking to somebody else in the initial stages. Now, if it was further down the line in the relationship, you were in a committed relationship or whatnot, monogamous relationship, then I could understand that. But in the initial stages, no, don't get bent out of shape about that.
Yeah, I'm definitely not been out of shape.
Okay.
It's more so that he proclaims celibacy, and it's more of a practice than an absolute when it comes to him, obviously, because here I meet this woman and I want to walk in love. And so I definitely hear you on that, and I agree. And even though it's not always easy, I agree. And I think it's the same with women as well. I don't believe in being a girlfriend. It's we're
Okay.
engaged or not. But, and what was I going to tell you?
Okay.
Um,
Did you hear the conversation that I had with the lady that called in from?
I didn't hear a thing. I called in, I turned it on. You guys were just kind of ending with the last lady that had called,
Okay.
the last gal that had called, and I'm like, oh my goodness.
Okay.
I just don't understand why the new guy has never tried to meet me or like move that forward and meet me if he's going to do all of that. It seems a little silly. If he's going to be that extra against my ex and have the whole, and make
Okay.
all this music, and maybe the music, he's not moving things forward. He's never called and said, like, I want to meet you.
Okay. Can I help you out with that?
Yeah.
Because he's dealing with other women. Yeah, I promise
But
you.
how interested in me could he be to make all of this music and upset my ex when he's so caught up in other people that he hasn't tried to meet me in 2 years? Can he make music about them instead of me?
Okay. There was a lady who called in earlier. And she described a scenario about a guy that she met online, and she talked about how sweet and how great he was, and he talked about all these excellent qualities that he saw in her, and he wanted to have a relationship with her. Basically, he rolled out the red carpet with her online, and one of the first things that I told her is, it's only words. It's only talk. See, you have
Only
to
talk.
yeah. See, Amanda,
That's awful.
you have to understand one thing about men. See, we are looking for the least resistance possible. We are looking for the easiest way to get access to you: sex, money, time, attention, manipulation. The easiest way to get in those things, and the easiest way to get out. And one of the easiest ways to do that is talk. That's all it is. See, Amanda, please understand this. You cannot take what a man says out of his mouth at face value. Why? Because we will lie. He told you he's celibate. He is lying. I'll bet my last dollar he is not celibate. He's having sex.
He's trying not to. That's what she said. Literally.
But that's what men do, depending upon how you frame the question. If you ask a man, when's the last time we had sex, we're going to say, I had sex 8 months ago. I had sex. The last time I had sex was a year ago. And the last time I had sex was, 18 months ago, even though we had sex last night. We're not going to tell you we had sex 2 nights ago. We're going to come up with a number that matches up with our agenda to help you believe that, maybe he has not dated. Maybe he is looking for Miss Right. We come up with lies and say, I'm just not having sex right now because I'm just frustrated with the dating scene and I'm just holding out for Mrs. Right. That's a damn lie. This cell phone is full of women that we're conversating with and having sex with. But once again, no man is going to come straight out and tell you we had sex last night or we had sex 2 nights ago or we had sex 3 nights ago. We're going to say minimum we're going to say 6 months or maybe 4 months, somewhere in there. But it has to match. It has to match up. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I said it'd be dangerous out here. I'm the one too who commented, like, one of my exes had that burner phone in his trunk. We were together for like 3 years. I had to decide in my heart that I knew something didn't sit right. And as soon as I made that decision, the evidence just started sprinkling from the heavens. As soon as I made up my mind, there became the evidence, because there was never any evidence. Yeah. And that was the one who had that phone, that burner phone in the trunk. I said, oh my God, let me get solid.
Look, I'm laughing with you because that
you're
burner,
funny, yeah.
That burner phone,
it is, it's funny.
Hey, that's what we do. In fact, we were talking about the burner phone on Monday night. We were talking about different places, men in which we hide it. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that man still to this day tried to provide. Yeah. He's something else. Yeah. I'm learning. See, I did not know these things.
Amanda, please trust me on this. Yeah. I promise you. I don't know you. I don't know your situation. I'm just trying to get you to understand when we're talking, you can't take everything that we say at face value, because we can be married, but we're not going to tell you we're married. We're going to say, nope, I'm single. And then let's say you find out we're married. You know what we're going to say? Well, yeah, we are married. I didn't want to tell you, but, we're going through a bit of divorce, and I didn't want to bring you into that because it's so complicated. See, even if you find out we're married, we're still going to dress it up and say, well, like I said, we're not sleeping in the same bedroom. She sleeps in the bedroom. I sleep in a different part of the house. We're always going to come up with something to try and make you think that everything is okay. Okay, he's going through a divorce. Yeah, eventually, when the divorce goes through, I'm going to leave her, and then we'll be together. See, you can't take men at what we say, because we will lie all day long as we're getting what we want, whether that be money or sex or food, whatever it is. We don't care. We'll tell you anything we think you want to hear. That's why, see, Amanda, that's why it's called game. That's why it's called game. And I'm trying to give you knowledge, because game means that it involves some form of lying and cheating and manipulation. So I'm just trying to give you knowledge so you can see through that lying and the cheating and the manipulation and all the games that's being played. Because, my goodness, there are some men out there, all they need is 3 minutes of your time. That's just how smooth they are. And they could sell you a dream so quick, and sometimes you could be gullible and you could buy into it, and the next thing you know, like Michael Jackson said, Heartbreak Hotel. So I don't want to see that happen to you. So again, don't ever take what a man says at face value. That's why you got to have a vetting system in place. Do you have a system in place to weed out guys who play games, or guys who lie, or guys who are manipulators? Do you have something in place to kind of weed them out?
You know what? It's always been an internal compass, like to sit and like think that thing out. The system, the vetting system that you speak of. Yeah. It's never occurred to me to like sit here and put my pen to pencil, metaphorically or literally, and have that checklist. Like I just am.
You need it.
Yeah.
You need it. Amanda, let me tell you something. All right. What you're doing right now, okay, and I promise you, I'm not trying to be funny. I'm just trying to give you some constructive criticism. See, what you're doing right now, you play right into the hands of some men with bad motives because you don't have anything in place. Think about an airport that has nothing in place to weed out people who may try and do what happened September 11th. Think about a bank that has no security system and someone can just walk into that bank and go straight to the vault. They got the combination to the vault and get all the money and just walk out of that bank. See, there's a reason why the banks have some of the best security in the world. There's a reason why your credit card companies have some of the best security in the world. There's a reason why some people move into what's called a gated community. There's a reason why some people put burglar bars around their homes. There's a reason why some people put cameras and video cameras outside of their doorbells and inside their homes because they're trying to protect the valuables inside of that house. And so you got to have that same mindset. You got to have something in place to protect Amanda. Because if you don't, all these men with these games, the F-boys and the A-holes and the pickup artists and the dogs and the players, they're just going to walk up to you and they're going to say, ooh, I got one. I got a lady and she does not recognize my game. She does not recognize I'm a burglar. She does not recognize I'm a predator. She does not recognize that I'm a guy who only wants sex. And so, Amanda, men, we can spot it a mile away when you are what we call green. And that's not a bad thing. You just can't spot the games. And men, one of the first things they capitalize on is talking. What do they talk about? Exactly what they think you want to hear. So you gotta be aware of that. You get that book that's on the screen, you call in, we could talk about it. I promise you, I could walk you through the steps from A to Z. The same way I told that lady earlier on how that guy that she was dealing with was a married man. I'll bet my last dollar. And when she calls back, if she's honest, when she calls back, I guarantee you she's gonna say, you were right, he was married. Because why? I know men. I know how we operate. We are some cunning, crafty, deceitful individuals, or we can be, because not all men are like that.
Like me, and that's why he is so extra. A decade later, anytime anyone gets close to me, gets all funny. Like he really just calls and checks on me like once a month. And honestly, I thought like we had really repaired our friendship and stuff. Like I have a daughter now. She's 7, but and there are other people in our social network that he had history with that do different things in the community. He does not like that with everybody. He's funny about me. For what?
It doesn't work like that.
It's just a concubine on the show for his convenience. Sounds like he does. I don't think obviously, how could he like me very much?
Okay.
Obviously, if he's not.
You said you talk to him once a month, right?
Yeah, but I wasn't thinking of I'm building with him. I'm just thinking like this is someone I care about.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Okay, you talk to him once a month. What do you think he's doing for those other 29 days?
Well, I don't care. I expect him to be dating. I want him to be happy. I'm living my life and he's living his, and we're in each other's lives at a distance, and that's fine. Like that was a status quo for me. So that's why it was so weird when, like I'm in the community and this person like takes such an intense interest in me. Like why, what is your issue? Like I get it with the men thing. I do understand that. But and if the new guy did like me, why didn't he move forward with me? Like, if he's going to do as much as to be like a rah-rah-rah against the ex, then I would think he would only do that for someone he's going to actually, like, approach. Literally. Mm-hmm. Not 2 years later, and I've never met this man. The whole thing was for naught. I mean, it's purposeful in the big grand scheme of things because it brings out our artistry, and I guess.
Yeah. 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 Any other questions?
Hmm.
I hope some of the things that I said were helpful. Again, I'm not here to hurt you. I'm only trying to help you and just give you some
Okay.
advice from a
Thank
male perspective.
you. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Don't be a stranger. Feel free to call back and give us an update.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
All right.
Thank
Take care.
you.
Have a good night.
Thank you too.
All right.
Bye.
All right. There were a couple of calls. If anybody, there were a couple of calls that where people tried to call in while I was online. If anyone would like to call back. Man, it's 9:40. I said I was going to stay on here 1 hour. It's amazing how fast time flies. Okay, so once again, if anybody who was trying to call in while I was on the phone with Amanda, you can definitely call back. I may take 1 or 2 more calls. It's definitely been an interesting night. Great phone calls. Again, hopefully some of the things that I've said can resonate. But again, ladies, you got to have some type of system in place. You got to have your defenses has to be up. And I'm of the opinion that your attitude should be the good has to suffer for the bad. Because it's just too much games being played. It's too much lying. It's too much manipulation. Too much dishonesty. My goodness. Man, it is rough for people to date out here. But why? Because this internet has made it so easy to masquerade. And you could just put up, some pictures online and send out some nice phrases and, hope somebody responds to it. And then if they do respond to it, you try and lay on the charm. And it's so hard to detect the games that are being played because, everything seems so kind and sweet and romantic in the initial stages. All right. So if there are no more phone calls, which it seems like everybody's done. Let's see. We got 37 in the chat. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in tonight. Really appreciate it. Hopefully we can do this again on Monday. Have a great weekend. Take care of yourselves. And once again, thank you for tuning in tonight. I'm going to end this live. Have a good evening.